sun is shining, the shorts are on. We could actually be on holiday in Spain. Now, there's a little clue to what this challenge is all about. We're up in, where are we?
A little over in Derbyshire.
Long way from Spain. And our challenge this week is particularly tough because we've got to do a very, very unusual garden. And this must be the address because there's all the materials.
Well, I hope so.
Oh, my goodness. Good morning. You must be Louise.
That's right.
And you must be Andrew.
Yes, Louise.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, Alan.
Hi.
This is
How
Big
are
Al.
you?
Big.
It's like they made a start already.
Oh, look at the stay of it. Yes, well, I've been here once or twice before, but only you want me and Al to recreate a garden for you, don't you?
That's right, yes.
Only this time it's going to be a garden with a difference, a big difference.
Oh, yes.
Because you want that great Spanish architect, the contemporary architect of his time, Mr. Gaudi, to have an influence on this garden.
That's what we want, yeah.
But why?
Well, we've been to Barcelona with friends and had an absolutely fantastic time. Saw the architecture, loved it. All the weird and wonderful shapes, colours. And it's just something we want to inspire our space out here, so...
Yeah, well, I tell you what, that's a real difficult challenge for me. Could we have a cup of tea while you're making a cup of tea? Me and Al will go and check out all the materials and see if we can actually get our heads together and come up with a design. I've got something up here, but it hasn't quite formed yet. Wow, there's a lot of bricks here, Al, look.
Yeah.
And these are all from the original building work, OK? When they demolished some of the sections of the house, they kept all these.
And these are going down on the deck?
Well, we've got to come up with an idea, but that was my plan to use, because I knew they had quite a lot of bricks, to use them as flooring. But we can't use them on edge, we'll have, because the size of the area, we're going to have to use them on the flat.
OK.
And these, I'm glad to see there's some engineering bricks here, because these can go on top of the wall for capping the wall off. But what we need to do is sit down and do a bit of a sketch and come up with a...
Cunning plan?
Cunning plan. Louise and Andrew want to have a Gaudi feel to their garden, so we're going to incorporate typical Gaudi curves and colours, including curved walling and mosaic panels on the walls and terrace. What I thought was principally make a terrace here, which is very Spanish, make that out of the bricks. And the bricks being as they're in an orange... Oh, hi, guys.
Oh, lovely.
There you go, Alan.
Cheers, thanks very much, Andy.
We've arrived just at the right moment because we're discussing what we're going to do.
Right.
Okay. And the first thing I do is take a sip of this. Oh, lovely. But what I thought I would do, because you've got a lot of bricks, is make your terrace out of the bricks.
Right.
Excellent.
And to give it a bit of a rustic look as well, instead of using them like the edge showing, we lay them on the flat. That'll probably give us enough materials to lay the floor and also to incorporate those to match in the wall.
Right.
So if we come off of here and then we have a pier to the side there and a pier there, and then we bring the wall round and shape it round here, and then the paving that side, but also maybe to incorporate some panels in the floor here. As usual and true to form, nothing is straightforward. We have a slight sort of anomaly with this DPC, because that's probably where the original one is, underneath this air brick.
Yeah.
And looking at this new extension work, I'd say the damp course here is up there, which runs underneath the step of that door. So we'll have to stick to this one, which means that we've got to drop some of this. See, the problem is, you're supposed to have 150 mil below the damp course. That's your finished floor level. So when it rains, it doesn't splash over the damp course and dampen the wall. But we're going to have to compromise that here. We've got no choice. But it means that we've got to take all this up, move that out.
That way?
Yeah, and lower the subfloor.
Yeah.
And then, of course, raise this end, so we'll lift this end up so you'll have a bit of a shallower fall. Right out, that's the first one of many.
OK, I've got it.
They can be cleaned off later date. There we are. There you are. Now that's all the slabs up. The next thing to do is to find the levels for the patio. So we're governed by that end where the low damp course is. And I dig a trench and put a peg in the ground at the correct level up there, because that's a crucial level point. And then I'm going to put another peg down this end. So there's a very shallow fall coming from the top right down here to take the water off the patio. And I'm going to put a string line between them 2 points. then some more pegs in, and that will actually give us the levels for the whole patio. Now, if I was to level that right the way through, it actually picks up there. And the reason I can tell that is because I've worked out with the courses of bricks, makes it very simple. So I want to have a fall from that end to this end, so I need a minimum of 2 inches. So when I put this peg in, I can then level it off here and get the perfect fall.
Tommy's got me digging the footings out for the wall to go around here. Just going down about a spade depth, and then we're getting rid of the loose on the top here. So, another 10 minutes or so, we should have all the footings done. We'll start mixing some compo then. I should say concrete.
There's a reason, Al, why I'm making you do that.
Yeah, I know.
It's just that trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. The loose spoil will make the fill between the hardcore, so we get rid of 2 birds with 1 stone.
Have you seen what I've been doing? I've been doing the Gaudi effect with the level of the bottom of the footing lot. You see how it's rolling?
Oh, wonderful, yeah. Yeah, you're all at sea there, son. Right, now that's the very first bit of muck bedding down. And we're going to lay the first few bricks. Louise is going to be my able assistant.
Well, we needed Tommy for this challenge, really, because we didn't know where to start, because we'd got a lot of reclaimed materials, and we didn't really know how to use them appropriately. And we also thought, because we wanted something a little bit more different, you really needed an expert, because it's not a straightforward job at all. I've been to Barcelona a couple of times and was absolutely wowed by the architecture. I love the bright colours that he used within the mosaics and just the sort of the whole irregularity of it. Since then, all we've wanted to do is get out on the patio, eating our tapas and probably having a few drinks.
The way he would do it wouldn't be dead straight or dead perfect.
Oh, definitely not.
So any slight undulations is what we want to try and
Just
create.
adds to the character.
You got it. She's such a sweet girl.
Tommy, is that mix done yet?
Excuse me if I'm shouting, but I can't hear very much. But this is necessary because this is quite a noisy machine. But it's a great bit of kit. When I'm using these bricks that in the paving up there, I've got to cut it exactly in half. And you need quite a lot of cuts, so I've hired this machine in. And we just start it up. That's the thing that holds it. That's a diamond saw spinning around, being stirred by water. And then we just push the bed. And that's 2 perfect halves of 1 whole brick.
Right, that's the footings laid and, more importantly, level, so he'll be pleased with them.
Al may think he's finished for the day, but he'll be lucky. I've got a plan for him to create something rather special. Well, what I thought in the design would be to create a sort of Gaudi-style pergola. What would it look like? Would it be straight and square? No. So I've designed this for poor Al to do.
Well, you are joking.
That's the actual design. It's a bit like a roller coaster, so that it comes from being high, it goes down, and it rolls up and down again. And the other one at the back is the reverse, so it starts high, comes down, and then rises up. And then these cross members, that makes them really hard to cut and fit. But
you really are taking the mick here, aren't you?
There you are.
Not even Gaudi would tackle this one. Tommy's drawn it, and now it's me that's got to work it all out and do it in timber. And I think I've come up with a cunning plan. This bent piece of roofing lath here that goes all the way along there and then all the way along there is the actual shape that I've got to cut these heavy section timbers to. Now they're going to be 6 inches wide, and that's the spacer that I'm going to use to follow that lath all the way along, and then I can cut it out with a very sharp jigsaw. When these are all cut out, I'm then going to situate them on a high post at one end and a low post on the other, and then on the other side high post and low post, so they're all obtuse. They'll look fantastic.
There you go, that's the wonderful shape of the wall. As Gaudi as I'm going to get it anyway. I've set them out dry because I want to make sure that it all fits perfectly and I get the shape that I want. Now I've got that, all I've got to do is start building it. Making a bit of progress here. We're going to repeat this pier on the other side of the opening. This will be a step to bring us up onto the patio. And then I've put these concrete blocks around here. I'll repeat this pier effect somewhere here, so that will create a panel, and then we'll have another panel that side with more blocks and a pier at the end. And one more over there, so we'll have 3 panels on which we can do a mosaic. Only on one side, mind, the other side will be plain rendered finish. And what we're going to do as well is put another set of blocks on top here so it's too high, and then we're actually going to cut the top of those blocks to give us that undulating shape. Very Gaudi. I said Gaudi, not Gaudi. Yeah, now that's beginning to look really good. Now these are just old reclaimed bricks from the original house, so there's some integrity with the materials with the building as well. Now what I'm doing here is just putting a header course all the way round, and that's going to form a panel. I'm not quite sure the size of it. It's going to be a rectangle, and inside of here is going to be a mosaic.
Progress has been good for the first day. It's been a nice day. The sun's been out most of the day, and we've got a lot done. Learning quite a lot on how to do the brickwork and everything. Tom and Al, we've got a very good working relationship, and it's been very enjoyable working with them today.
What are you doing out here, Al?
I'm on their allotment for setting this out, and I'm just setting out the rails to roughly how they're going to be, just so I got a vision of it. I mean, we were going to have 4 posts.
Yeah.
I've reduced it to 3 now.
What we've got to try and avoid, though, is it looking like, you know, gunfight at the OK Corral, you know what I mean?
You designed it.
I know, but I'm just saying.
No, Gaudi designed it, didn't he? We'll blame it on him.
We could, yeah, it'd be nice to.
You've still got all these blue bricks, though, before we can go.
Oh, no, that's nothing to do with me. That's Andrew and Louise's job.
You got all this nicely planned.
I have indeed. Oh, and I meant to ask you as well about your pergola. You must be used to making things out of plumb with your carpentry skills.
A bit below the belt. My wonky pergola, I think he's referring to. That's driving me mad, that is. You're doing it on purpose, aren't you?
I know, I just want to put you through it. But we've not had a bad day. I mean, it's been a really lovely sunny day. It's been nice working outside, hasn't it?
It's been a cracking day. We couldn't wish for more.
Well, we could wish for more progress from you.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of the paving.
Yeah.
The wall's halfway up.
Yeah.
The wonky pergola, well, we'll have to wait and see on that one.
Well, let's just hope that his paving isn't wonky.
What? Come on, time to go. Join us on day 2 and see how we got with the challenge. It's day 2 of the challenge, which has brought us up to Derbyshire. A touch of inclement weather ahead, I think, and maybe the shorts are a touch optimistic.
I think so.
But the reclaimed brick paving's going down well, and the wall's beginning to grow.
And by hook or by crook, the posts for the pergola have got to go into position today.
Come on then, let's get going.
Now that the rails are cut for the pergola, it's time to set out for the posts. 2 over here, 2 over there, and 2 in the middle. But I've got to get digging. This is seriously hard ground. And do you know why? We haven't had much rain, and this thing here is drawing all the moisture out of the soil.
I've left a recess in the brick terrace so that Louise can get all creative with some Gaudi-inspired mosaics.
Louise, these drawings look a bit special. Are you an artist at heart, then?
Oh, my background's in interior design and
Really?
I still work within the art department at the local college.
Oh, I
so-
see. Well, no wonder they look so professional. These are the kind of designs that you're going to put in for the mosaics?
That's right, yeah. I was been thinking around some ideas, looking at the sort of Gaudi mosaics and taking some of the forms he used. The colours on here are a little bright in comparison to what he used.
I quite like them, though.
Yeah, and I think with the fact that we're thinking of using the 4 seasons within panels,
Yeah.
I think you've got to have a contrast in the colour. So I've now split them down.
Right. And these are the ones that you're going to be using, this kind of thing?
Yeah, there's a range of different finishes on the tiles that we've got. We've got some that are glazed,
Yeah.
and then some that are much more sort of your traditional
More
ceramic.
terracotta.
Yeah. Gaudi
Yeah.
with a Louise twist.
I like that.
The wall itself will probably be very much like the wall in Güell Park.
Yeah.
So that's quite exciting.
Yeah.
So we'll have our little bit of Barcelona.
You'll be able to sit here and look straight out on it.
Or eating tapas.
Well, it's not much like Barcelona here today. It started raining. These are the posts that we're going to be using for holding the pergola frame rails up. Now, we've kind of got them to length or thereabouts, but because the frame rail is of such a funny shape, being Gaudi style, we can't get them exactly to length. So what we're going to do is do this one and then set in, imagine that's the end of one of the rails, we've got to set that in so that it sits on a haunch flat, then it will be bolted and dowelled through the top. But I've got a fair bit of cutting to do first.
Oh, it's going brilliant, absolutely brilliant. We're really pleased with what's going on. Interesting to see what the pergola turns out like, but the rustic feel to the block paving is going to be fantastic. So looking forward to seeing how the mosaics go.
This mix that I'm just levelling out here is quite a dry ballast and cement mix. And what I'm going to do is level it up to the pegs that Tommy put in just here. And then when it's all nice and roughly even, I'm going to whacker it down, leave it overnight, and then when it comes to set the bricks onto the top of it tomorrow, it'll be a perfect base to work from.
Louise and Andrew want a real sense of Gaudi in this garden, and we want to make the design as authentic as we can. So we've got Gaudi expert Andrew Wynne to give us some help.
Sure. What is it about Gaudi style that you like, particularly?
I like the natural forms, the use of colour and the fact that it's just something that's fun and eye-catching for people.
For the mosaic, it's really important to think about the shape of the mosaic pieces as well. Yeah. And Gaudi, as you probably know, has got lots of fragmented pieces. He used very shattered pieces, which he placed in some areas than others. It was more regular. So should we have a practice cutting some of the pieces now?
Yeah,
just get
sounds
an idea
great.
Now, the nibblers, you try to cut with the jaws right over. It's using brute force.
Right,
it's more of a
okay.
snap-in motion. But to cut like this, and ceramic will cut this thickness, will cut very, very cleanly. Now, edges like that, you can make use of for actual edges of your mosaic, give a nice polished, rounded finish to it.
Oh, that'll be useful.
But for the more kind of fragmented edges, you know, you can make use of those. A bit like crazy paving. Don't have a go at cutting.
Right,
See how you
yeah.
get on. Just a little bit of pressure should.
Whoa.
That's it.
Yeah, I can see what you mean about them flying around. Oh. Wow.
So you do develop a feel for it after a while, but even that said, you still get some pieces which will just go their own way. But that's part of the beauty of it anyway.
Fantastic.
And then you just concentrate on taking all the edges off, so it's starting to round off a little bit. Now, don't be tempted to overdo it. Don't take great big chunks off, because that's when they usually shatter in the wrong place. So do it bit by bit. And you can see it starts to round off fairly quickly with this technique.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going for a circle here, I'll have you know.
I knew that. So your mosaic panels, where are they going to actually be placed in the garden?
Right, well, there's 2 areas that we're actually putting mosaics. We're having 4 panels in the floor that are based on the seasons. And then there's quite an individual wall that's been built, very much like the wall in Güell Park. It's actually got undulations within it.
Brilliant.
And on the outer side of that wall, we're going to build some mosaics into that as well. So we've got quite a lot of mosaics to do. So I'm really looking forward to getting stuck in now. So thank you very much.
Excellent, thank you.
All right, Andy, what we've got to do, I've got to try and get these vertical.
Right.
And with this slot facing that way. So if you can put push some gear in.
Okay.
This is rapid set, this is, so we've got to try and get as much in as we can.
How quick does it go off?
Well, it can go off quite quickly. It shouldn't do today because it's fairly wet.
Right.
But we're just packing it down around the edge with this stick. That's it. And then we'll try and keep it about 2 inches back from this top level here.
A bit more.
That's lovely. That should be enough, Andy. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is plumb it up now.
Right, do you want me to hold the post?
Yeah, and then I'm just going to shove these bricks down just to keep it in position. So if you can, once we've got it plumb,
yep. Hang on to it.
You hang on to it for me. Over that way a little bit. And all I'm going to do is just drop these bricks.
So what will they do? Just hold it while...
Yeah, they just form as like a tapering wedge action.
Right.
That one will do for me, Andy. Right, we'll start with the next one.
Okay.
Right, just here. Once these are all set, we can then put some shaped timbers over the top of here, which I've got to start next. It really is going to look a nice curly-whirly sort of a shape.
Louise and Andrew are putting their newfound knowledge into practice on the mosaics.
I can be very artistic when I want to be.
It's a new experience for me seeing you do this sort of thing. I'm actually very impressed with your yellow pieces.
They're quite good, aren't they?
Yeah.
Right, now that this is all nicely levelled off with this dry mix, all I've really got to do is consolidate it and make it all nicely hard packed. Then I can lay the bricks.
Are you hungry?
I'm starving.
All right, well, I'll treat you to that tonight, and a pint.
Oh, bless you.
Well, it's the end of day 2 of this challenge, and we ain't done bad. We've made progress with the paving and with the wall.
And the posts, they're concreted in, and the side rails for the posts, they're all ready to go up.
And blinding on the floor.
And whackered in.
Yeah, so that's not too bad.
You've done really well with that wall. I mean, you do bendy curves really well.
Well, considering such inclement weather, we ain't done too bad, have we?
No, we've done very well.
So join us for day 3, and hopefully the weather will be better. See you then. This challenge has brought us to Derby, where we're creating a unique garden for Louise and Andrew Curd in the style of Gaudi, the famed Spanish architect. It's day 3 of the challenge. We're still facing some inclement weather, but must be optimistic. Right, what you going to do today? Come on.
I've got to get on with this thing that you've set me up with.
Ah, well, the posts have gone off. All you've got to do is put the rest of the puzzle together.
Yeah.
You're the chippy.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and get on some of my brickwork. It's amazing what you can achieve if you really put some effort into it. I mean, I don't know how true to Gaudi this actually is, but it's certainly got a bit of his influence, because not only does it undulate and shape like this, it also shapes like that. And that's my memory of Gaudi when I went to Barcelona. It was the way he actually shaped things, so far ahead of his time. So you never know, maybe one day on this effort, I might be judged.
Here you go, Tommy.
Oh, thank you, darling. It's all nice hot cuppa. Well, what do you think about this shape?
I think it's fantastic. It's definitely adding some interest into the patio.
Well, it's nice, I think, because, I mean, I don't know about you, but when I went to Barcelona, my outstanding memory is the fact that everything he did was sort of out of shape, and it wasn't, I don't know, symmetrical. It was just a bit odd.
Very natural.
Well,
incredibly natural.
Well, maybe...
It's growing up out the floor.
Is that what this looks like, then?
Yeah, I think to an extent, and once we've got something in about the seasons, it really will look natural.
The 4 seasons?
Yes, the 4 seasons,
Yeah,
not the singers.
I feel a song coming on, yeah. Yeah, like singing in the rain or something, you know, be appropriate today. That's a handy tool, isn't it? Now, let me explain what we're doing. I know this might look a bit crazy, but this is a first for me. I'm creating an underfloor heated patio. Yes. Now, the reason why we're trying to recreate the lovely warm climate of Barcelona, give them that Gaudi feel in the garden, and instead of using those gas burners, which generally tend to throw the heat up into the sky, create lots of CO2 problems, this works off the central heating system, and it goes underneath the floor, so with your bare feet under the table, the heat will percolate up gently, keep you nice and warm for those extra couple of hours in a slightly chilly evening. Well, that's the pipe work in place. Just need to connect it to the boiler and job done.
This is looking good, sir.
Thank you.
I really like that.
Well, it's nice. It's like a sort of a snaky style, isn't it? You know,
It is.
all round, like a caterpillar, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, no, what's them things with all the legs?
A centipede.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. That's what it reminds me of.
It looks so much better in reclaimed gear as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can't beat it.
I really like the shape of that.
Luckily, because of the weather, we've got this thing here and it's managing to keep.
Yeah.
Because these don't really...
It's nice that you know, in this weather, you're being able to work in a T-shirt and shorts. You know, just bearing in mind what I'm wearing.
Yeah. Well, you're down there in the jungle with all that wood, aren't you? Putting that puzzle together. How's it coming on?
Talking of puzzles, yeah, it's coming together well. Really pleased with it.
Do you need me to come down and assist you?
No, you stop here. I'd hate you to get wet.
You sure?
Yeah, positive.
All right.
We've lived in this house now, what, nearly 4 years?
Nearly 4 years, yes. The work we've done on the house has been quite extensive, really. We've had a huge extension put on and gone into the loft as well, which we basically had to live in one room in the front of the house. The same week we were getting married as well, which was quite hilarious.
But Louise and myself have chose to do the finishes ourselves, all the decoration, fitting out the bathrooms and toilets and bedrooms and so on. We've had 2 years now without sort of like a garden or a patio, so the last like 2 summers we've not really entertained people here. And obviously to get the patio done with the challenge in readiness for this summer is, you know, a great bonus really, and we're looking forward to using it.
Having lots of parties.
I really am getting on very, very well with the pergola now. All the working out's done. This here is one of the rafters that's going on top of the side rails. Now, there are going to be 8 of these, and they're all to this shape. This one has all been honed out nicely, and I'm going to use this as the pattern.
That was the fun bit. What I'm doing here is cutting the blocks to form the curves on top of the wall, me roller coaster wall. Here we are. Lovely.
Remember those posts that I put in? Well, these are the rails that sit on top of the posts, but we don't just stop there. We've actually got rafters that connect these rails together as well. They're curved, but they've got to sit into little pockets, and I'm just going to cut those pockets out now and then chisel them away.
Al?
Yeah? Hey, mate.
I don't know whether you misunderstood what I wanted. No, the cross members were to be curved, but the rails were to be straight. How do you mean?
No, I'm not having any of... No. Sorry, I am not having any of that. I'm not going down that road, all right?
No, I just thought I'd really cripple you. Careful with that now, careful. It's very dangerous with a weapon in his hand like that. Yeah, well, that looks absolutely marvellous. I've got to say, I've got to give you some real plaudits for that. 9.5 out of 10.
I think so. Well,
yeah, I think it's absolutely spiffy.
I
It's
think
just what I wanted.
worthwhile. You know, if we ever do any other shapes like this, what do you reckon about getting the homeowner to do them?
What about if we ever get to do any more shapes like that, that I just turn the page over and start fresh with straight lines?
Pieces, yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Right. Easy now, easy. I'm stuck round a tree. Come back round.
All right, roughly about there.
Let me have a look at that. Oh, what a fit, Al. What a fit.
I know, don't sound so blooming surprised, mate.
Yeah. I don't know how many series we've done, but this is the first time we've had a perfect fit in all them years.
Wow.
Always going to go into one there. So we'll get the other one.
No, I'm doing it on my own. That's about it there.
Hey, lad, I've got to say, hey, by Gad, that's great.
Hello, Tommy.
Hello, Andrew.
How's it going?
All right, mate. What do you think?
It's looking really good. The very fact that it's a garden, just like Gaudi's work would be in some of his famous parks, you know, the work there, it's very much in keeping with the nature of the place. So even though it might have bright garish colours sometimes, it's all done harmoniously with nature. So, as you know, he used a lot of reclaimed materials.
Very much in keeping with what we're doing
Very
here.
much in keeping with this project, yeah. So it really was a case of whatever was available at the time.
Can I ask you one thing? When Gaudi used to work, did he used to use sort of ordinary common local labour?
Very much. It was very much a
Good,
collaboration.
because that's why I've brought Alan Hurd from just down the road in Melton Mowbray.
Some more cut slates for you.
Thank you very much, mate. Now, this is my pièce de résistance. This is my favourite little piece. Now, I call this my slate necklace, if you like. What I've done, they had a load of old slates, original slates from the building, and on the diamond wet saw, we've cut them down to size, so they're very uniform, and we're using them along right the way round the edge of this opening where the mosaic's going to be, just to give us this lovely border, and the colour is superb. And I want to show you something else that is really quite clever. The reason I've left this fuchsia in place is because the colours are particularly very bright and garish, a bit like Gaudi, if you like. And if you have a look in between the middle of this flower here, see the colour? A perfect match for my slate necklace. Well, Mr. Hurd, what do you think of my voluptuous curves?
Well, they certainly curve, and you made a nice job of that.
Yeah, it does. It's come out really. I'm really pleased with it. It's come out well. Well, it's the end of day 3, and we've done pretty good, I have to say.
Yes.
The wall's completely finished, except for the mosaics on that side.
That's right, all they're rendered in quite nicely.
Yeah, and we've got the underfloor heating down. We've got about 2/3 of the paving done.
The pergola is almost finished. Just a few little touches to finish off with that. Looking good.
Yeah, very nice. And don't think that's the end of your job, though, because
Oh,
you've got...
it is?
No. No. You've got to come and help me a lot more on the paving. There's loads more paving to do.
What exactly did you contribute to that, other than sort of, I want it curly-whirly?
I am the creator. This is my art. So join us for day 4 of the challenge and see if we finish the job. Come on, time to go.
Come on, if you're creative, you can get your wallet out.
Bit heavy, he must have his wallet in there. God, dear. Welcome to the last day of the challenge. Now, I've had an interesting challenge, this one, because we're in Derbyshire and we've been invited up here to do a garden with a very special twist. It has to have the flavour of Gaudi.
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 All right, OK.
I keep telling him he just can't get it right. Look, Gaudi is a different spelling to Gaudi.
Having gone to all of the trouble of making these spiked dowels, I don't want to damage the ends of them when I drive them through this hole. So I've got a piece of wood, like so, and that's got a little hole, and that will protect the pointed end of the dowel. And that's going to go on there, and then I can hit the back of this wood, and it won't damage the timber at all.
The standard of workmanship so far has been very good.
No, excellent. It's been absolutely excellent. You couldn't do it.
OK, it's been excellent. Yeah, very pleased with what they've done so far, and looking forward to seeing the project completed.
And at last, the very last piece.
I'm going to fix these rafters with these screws here. Now, they might look a little bit big and beefy, but the reason I'm using these is because they've got a washer head on the top and they compress the rafter down tight onto the side rail. Just like that.
The mosaics I've been building, they've been very time-consuming, really good fun to put together, and we've had to think about lots of different ways of actually transferring them from one place to another. So a challenge in themselves, I think, to get done within the timescale we had, and also a challenge for me just to learn how to do them in the first place. I've got all these design ideas and the colour ideas, but I haven't got a clue actually how to put them into practice.
What a contrast. The beautiful Derbyshire countryside and a moonscape. I've come to a local quarry to find the perfect rock for a special feature that's really going to finish off Louise and Andrew's garden. Now, Ian, what I need is I need a nice piece of stone, or two pieces really, like in an L shape, to form a bench or a very low table. And I want to contrast the legs. I want some round balls.
Okay, yeah.
And some square blocks to make up the leg system for it.
Okay, so you've got an L-shaped bench with balls at the front and blocks around the back.
Well, to put it crudely, yes. But
Okay.
what I want, I know that you do mostly indigenous stone here, don't you, from local quarries?
Yep, indeed. Most of the stone's from around this area, Stanton in the Peak. We've got a quarry there, sandstone quarry, which we can certainly supply this material in.
Being amongst all this wonderful stone, I really feel like I'm being spoiled for choice. Just trying to find the right one. Perfect. All right, Dave, this will do lovely. Fantastic. Now, this is what you call a saw rack. Makes my circular saw look silly. Oh, look at that. The grain. It's going to look absolutely fantastic in the garden. I can't wait.
What you got here?
Now, I must show you this. Now, this is a sandstone that's indigenous to a local area. It's Derbyshire stone.
Okay.
And so's that.
They look really heavy, they do.
All right, let's... We've got to carry them through. And I said that we. Don't disappear now. Come on.
Not happy about this at all. Not happy.
Do you know what? I feel, with the responsibility I've got for this programme, I feel I've got the whole world on my shoulders. Just when it was all going so smooth. It's all right, Al! It's only a shower! Well, I've got all the ingredients and I've got the recipe. All I've got to do is come up with the goods. Now, this was my cunning plan, and I'll show you here, you see. This is the bench come table, and these squares here represent the big square blocks which are going to support the back of the two pieces that make the table. It's an L-shaped bench. And then there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 big stone balls which are going to hold the front of the bench up. And then what I have to do is drill these out. I've marked them, and then put a pin like that in there, in that hole, drill a corresponding hole in the back of the big sheets, and a corresponding hole anywhere on any one of these balls, and then, provided I've done it accurately, the whole thing should go together like a kit. And it's getting late in the day and I've got so much to do. Now, what we have to do is start with a smaller drill bit, masonry bit, and then grade up to the right size. I've marked the centre here. The reason I've done it in stages is I don't want to risk damaging and breaking out the stone, so take it a bit at a time, nice and steady, get the perfect job. Now the balls. All the foot traffic and bad weather has given us yet another task to complete, laying a new lawn. it heavy, that tape?
No, not really.
Hold on. Easy, easy. How comes I'm back on the square and you're on the round ones? I can't believe I'm doing it again. Oh, now this is going to be tricky. If you thought that was difficult, now we've got to... This is really going to be difficult. Now, what's the distance between there?
There it is 48.
And what's it got to be here?
28.
I don't believe that. That's the first stroke of luck we've had all day. Spot on. Oh, well done.
Yeah.
What am I telling you well done for? I was the one who got it in
No,
here.
I don't mind taking a bit of praise for it.
Yeah.
Shall we get the big bit in now?
Oh, yeah, that great big lump again. Andrew! Right, Al,
Well, if I cup hold of this end again,
Yeah.
and then you have the sides...
We'll have the heavy bit.
Yeah. No, there's two at one end, one at the other.
Oh, no, we're in the middle. And we've got the heavy end to lift off the floor. He's so cunning, this boy. Oh, now we've got to go that way. This is going to be tricky.
Hang on a sec.
Yeah, get your balance right, Al.
We've got to come down square, that's it. To you. Bit more, mate. Whoa, out there.
Oh, ding dong.
Oh, what?
Well, it really is the end of the final day of the challenge, but we've succeeded, we've completed the challenge.
And considering what kind of weather we've had, deluges of rain, we've done well, I think.
And, of course, we had a rather difficult design.
Yes.
Look at this bespoke pergola.
Yeah. Next time, let me design it.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. And, of course, this lovely bespoke wall right
Yes.
behind us with those lovely curves.
I think all the curves do blend in nicely as well.
And, of course, these lovely mosaics within those lovely necklaces that I made out of the old slates.
Yes, everything looks really well
The bench.
blended. Oh.
Let's talk about the bench. And, of course, one last job we had to do, which was relay the lawn because we messed up the lawn before. Do you remember what it was like before we started? So, guys, we've finally finished the challenge. What do you think?
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, brilliant.
Oh, what do you think of it?
No, it's finished. I can't. Yeah, really good.
So you're pleased I put in for it?
Definitely. Yeah.
Good.
What do you reckon to the pergola?
Brilliant.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Do you like that?
Can't wait to get some grapevines growing on it.
What do you reckon about the wall and the paving? Do you like that?
Oh yeah, we're gonna have Barcelona nights, aren't we?
Yeah.
Sitting out here, wine and tapas. It'll be wonderful.
Well, think of us with a nice glass of red wine because we can't have it. We've got to drive home now, you see.
Oh dear, we're off up the pub.
I wish I was coming with you. But on that note, I think me and Al should say goodbye. And I hope you enjoy the garden.
Oh, we will, definitely.
Think of us when you're out here, won't you?
Oh, yes.
So from Big Al and me, till the next time, see you soon on Challenge Tommy Walsh.
We wanted our own little bit of Barcelona in the back garden, and I think with Tommy and Alan's ideas, we've really managed to capture that. We needed Tommy and Alan really because there was a lot of the building parts of the project that we just didn't know where to start with, and also how to use the materials properly to get the best out of them. I think we'd have been here for a few years trying to do that, so it's just spurred things on for us and given us a sort of a push in the right direction, really, that I think we'd have been labouring for a long time.
It's made a lot of difference now that it's finished. We can actually come outside the back of the house, whereas, you know, before...
We felt like prisoners in our own home.
Well, it was still a building site out the back of the house, so, you know, we didn't really venture out. But now, you know, we can come out and enjoy it.
They're fantastic.
Yes, recommend them to anybody. It's better than probably anything we could have done ourselves.
Yeah, and we've got our tapas night planned, so our friends that we went to Barcelona with are coming round, and we can't wait to have tapas and just pretend we're in Barcelona.